Alright, welcome to the stream, and we're doing something a bit random today. Had a little random idea. So I've been playing Rivals of Aether for a long time, like 500 hours or more, and a lot of that has been spent offline. Because I live in Jamaica, connection isn't that good, it's hard to find people to play with online, and doing tournaments is kinda iffy, so mostly offline, mostly against computers. So I've become very familiar with how computers play in this game. So, I know there are some good computers like Ori and Absa are pretty good. There are some really bad computers. I want to know, when you pit the computers against each other, which one comes out on top. So, we prepared a little bracket for us today. You can see I've seeded the computers in order of my perceived intelligence of them, or my perception of their intelligence. Apparently I don't have much perceived intelligence, but anyway. So, yes, we've ordered them by how intelligent I think they are, so Ori and Absa get a bye, and then we have, Forceburn and Claren are up there, Maple. I don't know, you'll probably disagree with that, with these ratings, but who cares, so it's a double elimination tournament, nice and simple, best of 3. Yes, I am doing best of 3, I'm going all out on this, this might take multiple days. So, first game we have is Raster versus Shovel Knight, and I really have no idea how this is gonna go, and we're doing level 9 CPUs, of course. Gotta. So we've got Raster on the left, and we've got Shovel Knight on the right. Forgot to switch back to the game scene, and let's get right into it. So we're starting out on Rockwall, and this is about what I expect to see, honestly, from these computers. A lot of standing in the same place, a lot of throwing out upward attacks, Raster pressing neutral B a lot. I think it's neutral B. I haven't played Raster in ages. I really don't remember. Random parries. There's nothing like random parries on the CPUs in this game. They without fail, they do it. So it's looking pretty even so far, and I kind of expected Shovel Knight to be pulling away more in this game. Well, that was a good hit, but it's already even again. And Shovel Knight is putting himself off stage. That's something that I've noticed from the CPUs a lot in this game, is that they will just sort of swing at you, and they will fling themselves off stage with reckless abandon. That's not gonna do anything much, but, extra damage. Raster's still searching for the kill, not gonna get it like that. I'm gonna guess that these computers are gonna be getting to some really high percents before they end up dying. Finally we get the first kill of the game, and it goes to Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight is taking the lead early on, so that is what I expected, getting some extra credit with the percent here. But Raster takes another kill, 40%, that's not too bad. You can make back up 40% pretty quickly. Already halfway there. And then, that's the other thing that always frustrates me with the computers. They get parries, and then they do literally nothing with them. It's like, it's not even reasonable to play against a computer most of the time, because, like, if they parry you, it doesn't matter. You still get out of it for free. So Raster is really starting to fall behind now, but putting together a string here, a very, very disconnected string, but a string nonetheless. Shovel Knight's getting back into the game now. Finally gets to play the game again. But just sort of side being in the middle of nowhere. This is a thing that Shovel Knight does a lot, just randomly side being. Another kill with up air. It looks like every kill is going to be with up air, and at a lower percent now than he was in the last stock. And Raster just keeps getting hit by side B after side B. You would think that he would learn his lesson, but no, the computers don't learn. I think one day, what would be nice in Rivals of Aether if there was like, well, not amiibos specifically, but something like how amiibos work in Smash, where you could teach a computer. That would lead to some very interesting computer tournaments. So it looks like Raster's finally gonna get kill on Shovel Knight, but double the percent he was on the last stock, and he dies immediately afterwards. So Shovel Knight takes game 1. Not unexpected, I gotta be honest with you. So that is 1 point to Shovel Knight. And we're just gonna pick random again. We'll just say that Raster counterpicks to, I don't remember the names of the stages. It's whatever stage. It's, you know the stage. Again, parries with no punishes. It's to be expected from this game. I mean, if you came here for like high quality gameplay, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but these CPUs are not going to provide that. It's simply not going to happen. Raster is starting to make a comeback here though. Raster is mad about the last game. He's starting to control the pace here. About a 50... Ooh! Good down air coming out of nowhere. Wave dashing at the ledge, looking to style on Shovel Knight a little bit here. A lot of percent. The problem here though is a lot of percent on Shovel Knight, but no kill options really being thrown out. Finally the Nair almost kills, but no, Shovel Knight's still alive, 177%, and he's still alive and kicking, and I wouldn't even be surprised at this point if he gets the first kill. Raster finally gets it with the up tilt, but Shovel Knight immediately, as I expected, immediately with the up strong gets the retaliatory kill, and all of a sudden, Raster had control of this game in the first stock, but now it's Shovel Knight taking the lead. These fake frame traps with down tilt into up strong, that's just the way that the CPUs play. It's a very different meta. The CPU meta is not the same as the in-person meta, but we got another kill there, and Shovel Knight is way ahead, and this is looking like it's gonna be an easy 2-0 for Shovel Knight. I don't see Raster coming back from this. I don't see Raster even taking another stock. Oh, but he's starting to put something together, but there it is, the neutral B, randomly. Just in the middle of nowhere. Ooh, double up tilt, turn around up tilt. I've never seen the computer do that. And finally Raster gets something. Gets a kill that I honestly wasn't expecting, but 64%, it's a big deficit to make up. He's working his way on it though, but no, now he takes another hit, and it's all the way up to 84 again. He's got the same gap to work up as he did just before. And it doesn't look like Shovel Knight's slowing down anytime soon. He is random roll, random spot dodge. I don't understand what these computers are doing sometimes, but you know what? It works for them. You know, when you're playing... Yep, there it is. The up smash in neutral. So Shovel Knight manages to take that game, take that set 2-0. So we're gonna add that result here. That's not how you add the result. Ah, I haven't started the tournament yet, that's why. I am very intelligent. Word? That's concerning. So we're having some technical difficulties with the tournament here, but we will soon be properly underway. Here we go. The tournament has started now. Okay, this is what I like to see. So now we can report the scores and get rid of this ad. Not sponsored. So that is a fat 2-0 for Shovel Knight, who will have to face off against Ori in the next round. So next up we got Claren and Eliana. I expect this to go even faster. So we gotta... So now is the awkward part of the stream, the part that I did not prepare, which is that I have to redo the names. So just pretend that this is going perfectly smoothly and this part of the stream doesn't exist. I really should have just prepared the names from beforehand. But, you know how it is. Player 2, move that so it's in the right place. Okay. That was not the most efficient of things, and I'm sure there's an easier way to do that. I haven't figured it out. Actually, yeah, no, I have not figured it out yet. But it's fine. We will just work with it as is. So it's gonna be Claren versus Eliana on this game. Let me not show any bias. Let me not have the colors. Alright. So, I mean, I know who I'm rooting for, but I shouldn't show any bias. All the computers are equal. It's just that some are more equal than others. I would be surprised if... Okay then. So I was gonna say I would be surprised if Eliana took a stock, because in my experience, the Eliana CPU is kinda dumb, but it looks like it is turning on a little bit, while Claren is really, really lagging. Like, really disappointing performance from Claren. Just running into the cloud, it seems like Claren doesn't know what to do about it. A little bit of movement, but, you know, it's still a huge deficit that you're having to make up. Good air dodge from Eliana to avoid any threats. And, you know, just throwing out the projectiles, playing like a Wi-Fi Zelda, it pays off. At least in the CPU tournament. Just runs up with the F-strong to counter the projectile. That's one way to go about it, I suppose. You literally have a counter for projectiles, but go off, Claren. And we've got a very simple edgeguard going, but as expected, and that's one of the main reasons why I think that Claren is favored in this matchup. Computers don't know how to edgeguard Claren at all. She's not that difficult a character to edgeguard, I would argue, but they just stand there at the ledge and get hit by the up B, so they just have to sort of tolerate it, and all of a sudden we're almost even again. You know, that... If Claren still wins this with having thrown away the first stock almost immediately, that is an embarrassment onto Eliana's coding. And Claren's in the lead. I looked away for a second, and as you know, it's almost as was ordained. Claren is going to probably win this game. Oh no, we're staying even here. Eliana takes a kill that she probably didn't deserve, but, you know, they need it, they need it. Eliana definitely needs Claren to be running randomly into these clouds. Just no mix-ups. Oh, now that was a mix-up. I was not expecting that. All of a sudden this Claren just became a level 15 CPU. And we're back to where we were. Just running into the projectiles, but it doesn't look like it's gonna even matter. Almost SDing once again. It's dead even. It's perfectly even right now. Just string together the up airs, that's definitely how it works. Yeah. So Claren takes the first game. That was a strange way for it to end. Both of them just standing there for a few seconds, and Claren throws out the F-Strong to take the game. I think that Eliana has a chance here. Based on that game, I think that Eliana has a chance, but game plan's gonna need to change up a little bit. Well, not that much, because just throwing out projectiles was working. It's not gonna work while you're standing in the bubble, though. So, not sure why they're standing right next to each other and not doing anything. Maybe I don't have them set to level 9 and I forgot or something. I thought for sure that I set them to level 9. I think I did, but we'll have to check after this game. But as long as they're on the same level, it doesn't really matter. Side special comes in for Claren, but nothing following up off of that. You can definitely follow up off of side special, you can definitely follow up off of up tilt, but no combos coming out from Claren. And just sitting in the cloud. This might be a difficult situation, but Claren makes it out of it. It is pretty much even here, but Eliana does not want to be hit off stage without the use of the propulsion from the suit. This is the issue that Eliana has. The amount of projectiles she is throwing out is causing the suit to overheat, and she's not using the cloud that much, so she's putting herself in unnecessary dangerous situations. Again with the side special though, it works out for Eliana. Was this side special or neutral special? I actually don't remember. Again, Eliana, not one of the characters I use very often. Interesting movement from Eliana. And Claren just raw F smash in neutral, up smash in neutral, up strong. This isn't smash. And finally takes the stock, but Claren is the one on the back foot here. This is a remarkable difference from the last game. Eliana is maintaining a steady lead, just blowing clouds into the air for no reason, really. But Claren doesn't seem to, despite the fact that Claren is built in with a tool specifically to deal with projectiles, the Claren CPU seems completely incapable of dealing with projectiles. How ironic. Oh, there we go! Claren actually finally using down special the way it's intended in this matchup. Just going into the cloud and pressing down special. You know, it's easy. Again hit by the up special. I'm waiting for just any computer to play against Claren, because I expect Claren to move on. I'm waiting for any computer to go up against Claren and not get hit by that up special. The moment that happens is the match that Claren loses, I think. Nice parry again, but no punish. Gets a panic option out of Eliana and gets an F tilt off of it, so it's not the end of the world, not a wasted opportunity, but it is a slightly scuppered one. Claren ends up getting killed by the F-Strong, and it is now one stock apiece as Claren retaliates. This is closer than it has any business being. This matchup is probably one of the most disparate matchups in the game, and yet Eliana is keeping this close. If this is a 2-0, it's not a 2-0 like the score would suggest. And just as the last game, on the last stock, all of a sudden Clarence starts bringing out combos, but ends up off stage, ends up doing the side B when she really should have done the up B, and that gives Eliana the game. So it's one apiece here. Definitely a closer match than I was expecting out of these two. And as far as placing your bets goes, I don't know. I'm thoroughly disappointed in the Clarence CPU. I have overseeded her, clearly. So we're going to Etelis' stage. Don't remember the name. Don't even ask me. The grab into up strong, pretty sure that doesn't work, but Clarence going for it anyway, maybe hoping for a weird air dodge or something. No parry coming in from any of these projectiles, no down special finally comes in now. Eliana possibly just getting rid of some overheating, not sure, but just throwing out the strongs in the bubble. Doesn't make sense to me. But these CPUs, again, the CPU meta is very different from the real life meta. We are definitely going to expect very different things from the CPUs. They're reacting to things that I can't even think of. They're playing 4D chess. Oh, McLaren with the tech chase. It's the first time I've seen a tech chase all tournament. Oh, and that was a huge opportunity to take an early stock, but Claren misses the chance. And again with the side special, just barely making it over the lip of the stage. It was a risky move, I think, but Claren makes the most of it. Up tilt into up air. None of these are true combos, but you know, the computers don't really like to air dodge very much. So what's true to us is not necessarily the same as what's true to them. This is turning out to be quite a grind of a game. We're almost at 2 minutes and still nobody has taken a stock. 141 to 180. Oh, and they keep taking hits that bring them so close to the blast zone. Eliana getting the kill across the stage with the up tilt. And oh, and Claren has found herself off stage, but again gets hit by the up special, and then a tipper F strong takes it. A bit unnecessary at 200%, but you know, we'll let her have that. And we're getting a bit of slowdown here, so we're just gonna take a brief moment to let things settle down. Getting a slight bit of buffering, just grinding, just a little bit of slowdown. We may end up having to end this sooner than expected. This is something to be expected from my computer. Hence why we have our donation goal going. We have a donation goal for a new PC build, which will provide for more consistent streaming. We'll be able to stream more different content, 3D games, things like that. So, yeah. So if you'd like to donate, the link is in the About page of the channel. And we go back to the game, and we have Claren taking control again. It's still 2 stocks apiece, but 55 to 130 is definitely a marked difference from the last stock. Good air dodge from Eliana to avoid this edge guard, but still taking lots of damage. Finally gets a really... Oh! Tries something very cheeky. It doesn't end up hitting, but Claren ends up taking the death anyway. Eliana way up in percent. Can she get some extra credit? Gets a parry, but it's on a jab. Doesn't take advantage of the situation. Lots of rolls coming out. Eliana hasn't thrown out a move in a while. There's one finally, but it doesn't even come out before Claren gets to hit. And positions herself perfectly for Claren's up tilt. Claren once again running into clouds. That's just been a theme in this match. And now the last time they went to one stock apiece, this has been such an odd match. Because first, game 1, Claren SDs the first stock but still manages to win the game. Game 2, things seem to be going perfectly for Claren, and then Eliana just ends up taking the win. And now we've got Eliana in the lead, but Claren in advantage. Up strong comes out of nowhere. Finally tech chasing, when we've dropped the tech chasing. Side specials right into the cloud. Claren just can't resist going into the cloud. Another up tilt. That command grab that Eliana has is pretty good, and Claren puts herself in a bad position, but ends up managing to recover. Oh, and there's the tipper F strong, not quite enough to take the kill, because it's too far. I think that Claren went in too deep off stage there, ended up off stage. I'm not even sure how, but Eliana manages to take the win, and it is 2-1 to Eliana. Definitely a big upset there. Can't write this stuff. So Claren will move down to the losers bracket, and we move on to Maple versus Crag. Let me just give you a look at the bracket we've got so far. So Eliana will move on. Eliana will play against the winner of Maple and Crag, the two ground, grass, that element representatives. Claren moves down into the losers bracket. Raster is already there. He will play against the loser of this match here. And Claren will play against the loser of this upcoming match. So, we move on to Claren versus Crag. Switch back to the game scene, and it's time for that awkward part of the stream where I changed the names because I did not pre-prepare names. This is going to become a problem when I start reusing names for later matches, and it is becoming increasingly apparent that I should have just pre-prepared the names, and I'm going to do that next time. So we've got Maple, and we've got Crag. I typed it in lowercase. I need to make sure it's in the right place. It's kind of hard to tell, to be honest. One sec. I need to, like, change my... Okay. Now I can tell what's going on. Okay. So, we've got that now. We've got that going. So, Maple versus Crag. Any predictions? Any predictions? It's kind of difficult. The Maple CPU has definitely got better since Definitive Edition. I have noticed that. Particularly in recovery. And Maple coming out with combos immediately, so that's already a big difference from the previous games that we've had, and I forgot to set the scores to 0. So let's do that real quick. Apologies if this is causing any slowdown. I don't think it is, but better safe than sorry. So, did not reset the scores, we've done that now. And now we can continue. So, things have not gone well for Maple starting out. Ooh, good up strong. That almost ended up taking a very sneaky kill, but Crag is solid and calm, collected, takes the stock. Did not know that projectile would bounce off of that pillar. I just learned something new from my online Crag. The Crag is just sort of throwing out moves, and it's working. Maple has trouble killing. It's a bit difficult to kill with Maple, but it would be helpful. So as you see, when the opponent has the leaves circling around them, which can be, and Maple SDs. So my estimations of the intelligence of the computers are not turning out to be very accurate. Maple finally gets a stock with that up strong, and we are getting a bit of slowdown on the stream, some dropped frames. We will wait for a second we will wait for a second for the stream to catch up. Got a little bit of issues, but it's all good now. We are smoothing out a bit now. Galarian Blades, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. So we're doing a bit of a CPU tournament here. We're trying to find the best CPU in Rivals of Aether, and it's not going well. They're not very good. They're they're just not good. But as you can see, some are less good than others. We've got Crag in the lead here by about a whole stock, and in an edgeguard situation. But not Claren. We just played this game against Claren with Claren and Eliana. It went very poorly for Claren. Still got Claren on the mind. I'm disappointed in my girl, but it's fine. So we've got this edgeguard situation, and as the CPUs do, they will not capitalize. Crag all the way at 137, 141. Even under normal circumstances, Maple has trouble killing. If you put her under the control of a CPU, it becomes even more difficult. And now Crag getting the parry and actually doing some kill confirms with up tilt into up air, but ends up getting the kill instead with just a raw strong attack. So Crag takes the first game. Game 2. There's something awkward about doing CPU tournaments, which is that the computers have no real opportunity to adapt or anything like that. They're not learning anything, they're not processing anything, I don't think. They just sort of do what they always do. Raw strong attacks in neutral. Maple seems to have a better handle on things now, and the reason why we do best of 3 here is simply because the stages often make a difference, often make quite a big difference. I don't know that it's making a difference here in particular. Like, I don't think we've seen enough yet to confirm that this is any different from if we played again on the same stage, but it is always nice to have a sample size that's bigger than 1. Because, you know, computers like to SD sometimes. They like to just sort of jump off stage and end up killed. Claren ended up... Claren, I'm gonna say this every time. Maple ended up killed there somehow, ended up hit with the down air into up strong. And, you know, when you're on that top platform of Air Armada, why not throw out the up strong as Crag? And... Whoop! I'm honestly surprised that Crag did not SD there, because normally he does. Normally he does. I'm very used to Crag doing that side B far too low and just riding it all the way off stage. But this time around, much more control coming out from the Crag. Ends up dodging that ledge trap. These CPUs are definitely not top players or anything like that. As can be demonstrated by the random turnaround up strong used to take that next stock, and Crag is all the way at 190 and still hasn't got killed yet. Past 200, and it looks like we're gonna just keep on going up in the percent. Maple just unable to take any stocks, finally get something well beyond 200%. And we're getting some slowdown, so we're going to give it a little bit of a pause here. I apologize for the stream issues. I honestly don't know what's causing it. The temperatures are fine. Yeah. It's just sort of... yeah. It's something that we have to deal with, sadly. So I'm gonna add those on to see what's going on here. So drop flare, a bit of frame dropping. We hope that it won't happen again, but it likely will, and we're gonna keep pausing and letting the computer chill out each time. It may be the computer, it may be the internet. It's something I'm gonna have to look into. Who am I backing for this game? Well, I would have preferred for Maple to win, but I mean, we gotta have some heavies represented in the next round, so... I'm not disappointed that Crag is destroying in this match. And I do play Crag a lot. I don't play Maple at all, really, so... I'm satisfied with Crag taking this. And taking it quite handily. Crag, I gotta say, Crag's actions per minute in this have been higher than any other computer so far. I don't see computers doing stuff as much as Crag. That weird backwards hit of that up strong, I saw Crag land down on the ground, and then I saw that swing and I was like, yep, that's gonna kill. It shouldn't, but it will. So Crag takes that 2-0. We're gonna switch back to the browser screen and we're going to quickly add in that score. Not what I was expecting, but a pleasant surprise this time around. So next game, got Sylvanos, we've got Rano. That is definitely a game that should favor Rano, but we have come to expect quite a few surprises in this tournament. Almost every match has been a surprise, and now it's our favorite part of the stream, the part where we reset the scores and put in the names that I should have put in at the start. I should really just be adding new names every time so that I don't have to re-add them for the future rounds, but I didn't think ahead that far. We're already this far in, no turning back now. It would be really nice if I don't... I'm not going to bother moving that. It's close enough to the right position that I don't care to check. So let's go. Sylvanos, Rano. Best of 3. We go to a random stage once again and we end up in the Fire Citadel, the future version. I don't know if it has a different name. Classic CPU stuff, the parry no punish. I should have honestly put up a counter for how many parries without punishes we get. Because it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a whole lot. I'm just looking at messages real quick so you can just... Oh, I should stop looking at messages because we have dropped frames. So we're waiting for that to normalize. getting back to normal territory now. So I'm just letting things normalize, and now we can continue once again. Alright, sorry about that, had to check some messages, had to keep up to date, you know how it is. I did not realize that Rano had already taken a stock, so for once, our predictions seem to be coming true. But, still getting some a lot of rolling coming out from Sylvanos. I don't know. I tell you, when the computers play, you will never again hear as many rolling sounds as you hear with computers. This is the longest period we've went without hearing rolling sounds, and there is another one. And we're dropping frames again. You missed that glorious kill. It was absolutely gorgeous. It's tragic. I'm gonna let the stream normalize again. After this game, I'm gonna take a look at my settings and see if there's anything I can do to calm it down, basically. I may end up having to turn down the streaming quality, just because it seems to be having a bit of trouble keeping up. So we're continuing again. You unfortunately missed that kill, but it's now 3-1, and it's looking like a done deal. I've never seen a computer come back from a 3-1 deficit, but anything is possible, really. They can always SD. Oh! Good flower there. This edgeguard from Sylvanos is rather simplistic, rather not taking advantage of all the tools that Sylvanos has to his advantage. And you can tell that Sylvanos is not playing to the best of his ability because Rano's at 250. Rano doesn't live to 250. That just doesn't happen. Finally takes the stock, but it takes forever and a day, and that does not bode well for Sylvanos' chances. However, that might just be a this game thing. You know, the fact that he got Rano all the way up to 250% against a character as light as Rano, that could have easily been 3 stocks, but it only ended up being 1. We'll have to see what happens on maybe a smaller stage, maybe a different stage. It's just, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Hello to Neo, thank you for joining the stream. So Rano just sort of stalling things out here. I think that it's going to become a problem if Rano can't take the kill sooner, but there we go. Gets it with the up strong, 200%, very high, but it's worth taking that advantage, especially when it provides a bit more confidence to that previous result, because it's going to mean that Rano probably will still have the advantage, even if it doesn't take 250% to kill. So we move on to game 2. And I don't expect, based on that result, I don't expect to see anything different. And we're dropping frames. We love to see it. That's just going to be a staple of this tournament. So, we now wait for it to normalize. How are you all doing? I just want to remind you that we're tending after a donation goal. And that goal will end at the end of March, and I'll be streaming quite regularly. I'll be trying to stream regularly until then. Of course, if we keep having these tech issues as we stream, then I'm gonna have to try and work out some solutions. So we've got a very docile start to this one on the forest, on the don't remember what this stage is called. Treetops? Something like that. Tree house? Tree, something about trees. Galarian Blades, you're talking about Pokemon Showdown, right? Seeing a bit of a different result in this game. I mean, Sylvanos is still behind, but not as behind. That Upstrong somehow doesn't kill. I'm frankly amazed. Rano needs to be buffed. I'm joking. Please never do that. And the computers... This is one of the reasons that I believe that Rano is definitely favored in this matchup, is that the computers do not move when they end up in the bubble. And it is very easy to get them into the bubble. But, that said, Rano can also end up in the bubble. And the bubble can sometimes save you from certain death, but Rano ends up taking the advantage and taking the stock in the end anyway. A little bit of a hiccup, but it doesn't end up having any long-term consequences. So now, we're gonna have to wait and see. In the last game, Sylvanos went down a stock, but Rano was still up in percent, but Sylvanos just could never get the kill, could never get the last blow. Can Sylvanos change that this time around? Yes, he can, with the up air coming out, only at around 60%. It's a much better situation than the last game at least, but still a deficit and still something to overcome. We'll have to see whether or not it makes a big difference. Up tilt comes out. It's a bit odd to commentate computers because they don't go for anything that humans go for. Like, I know what I would do in each situation, and I'm expecting to see it, and then I don't see it. I see a jab come out, and then they stand there for a few seconds, and then they do something, and then they stand there for a few seconds. There's a lot of standing around with computers. That's sort of the CPU meta, is who's gonna stand around the least. Which is why I think that Crag might be in a very good position in this tournament, because Crag was pushing buttons, to put it lightly. I believe that any CPU that's going to be pushing buttons is going to be doing well here. Neo asked, what's the goal? Are you referring to the stream goal? Oh! Oh, well, thank you for the $5 donation, Neo. That's very much appreciated. gonna have to watch these streams more often. Well, oh. We're gonna be streaming more often, so hopefully you will be here to see them. Thank you very much for the $5 donation, as Rano takes the set 2-0. So now we switch over. I'm missing some stuff from my UI. Never mind, no. I guess it just doesn't appear unless messages are currently rolling. Anyway. Oh, and thank you for the follow, Neo. Very much appreciated. So that's the end of that game. We got Sylvanos, a big ol' 0. Rano with the 2 moves on. I'm amazed that Rano is moving on and Claren has not. I feel like I have got my rankings all backwards. The stream goal that we are going for here is 500, and that ends on March the 31st. It's not a goal that I expect to reach, but, you know, it's nice to have something to shoot for. So now we go on to the next game. And the next game we have is Forsburn versus Etelos. So we're gonna select Forsburn, we're gonna select Etelos, and it's time for everyone's favorite part of the stream, the part where I awkwardly adjust the scores and the names. You know, just gives us a bit of downtime, a bit of chill time between all of these intense games of people standing around. Now this I expect to be a blowout. This I do not expect anything from Etelos. But I've been wrong before, several times in fact. So we're gonna have to wait and see if that even holds true, because it might not. Trying to get this in the right place. Alright. Here we go, Forsburn, Etelos. Let me get the right color on Etelos. We want the default colors. We just want the default colors for now. Random stage as always, and we end up in, well, whatever the stage is called. I really need to learn the names of the stages before I do these things. So Etelos ends up doing a bit more than I expected at the start. And that down special is quite good for slowing down the pace of the match, is all. And amazing, we've got a parry and a punish afterwards. I didn't think I'd ever see the day. You know what, Etelos? I'm rooting for you now. I had my doubts, but Etelos is here to steal my heart, and Etelos is stealing a stock right now, and it's 3-2. Nothing like random upstrongs in neutral, but it works for Etelos because it covers about 6 kilometers. Etelos' recovery route is very predictable. That's the only issue. And it's an issue that I think that Etelos is going to run into a lot here. But right now against Forsburn, he's looking pretty good, and Etelos hits hard. He doesn't need to bring Forsburn to a super high percent. He just needs to, just needs to take the stock like that, and there's another freeze. Freeze with the punish. Forsburn bringing out the clones, but not doing much with them. It's a bit of confusion. The only issue is I played Forsburn, and I don't think that computers react to the clones. However, Etalus is going to react to that down smash by losing a stock. It's still a huge deficit though, and it's not something that I think that Force Burn is going to make up in this game. We'll have to see what he does in the next game. That said, I've seen crazier comebacks from these CPUs, so we'll have to wait and see. Gets an up strong, but only gets the launcher hit of it, does not get the actual sweet spot at the top. That could have been game if that hit. That's gonna hit though, and that is gonna be game to Etalus. Lots of surprises. I just keep getting surprised. These computers are angry at me that I did not seed them properly. So we go on again to game 2. And we are in Final Destination. That's not what this stage is called, but I'm just gonna call it Final Destination. Just had to check some messages real quick. And we are watching this game 2 between Etalus and Force Burn. I was about to say it's about even, but all of a sudden we have an issue for Force Burn here because it's not that easy for Force Burn to kill. Down strong is a pretty good kill move, but again, no parry, no punish, or parry and no punish. That could have easily been a down strong and a stock. Etalus is just running with the momentum here. Gets the armor, and this armor is gonna be a problem for CPUs because Etalus likes to just throw out strongs. Like that. Up strong comes out, and that down strong almost takes the kill below 100% off the top. Really surprising to me, but I guess Etalus hits even heavier than I thought. There's the down strong to cover both sides, but doesn't end up taking the stock. That nair to conclude the edge guard though manages to get Force Burn too far away to recover. %248%, we're having a real pattern of CPUs gets an up special kill, don't see that very often. We're having a real pattern of CPUs living to incredible percents that you just do not see. We've got an edgeguard situation, and Etalus with the cleanup. Easy 2 stock for Etalus. So we go back to the tournament page, and we're gonna end up with a 2-0 victory for Etalus. Every game, almost every match so far has been every match so far has been an upset. I'm starting to wonder if there's a factor of port priority in this. Alright. Yeah, that was a vicious domination. I didn't expect to see it, but this has just been a tournament of upsets. So now we move into the loser's bracket finally. We've got an advertisement here, love to see it. Not sponsored. Oh, no, wait, we've missed one round. We've missed Orcane versus Zetterburn. I knew I was forgetting something. So we go back to the game scene, and once again, it's time for the best part of the stream, the only good part of the stream, the part where we awkwardly change the names. I was thinking something similar, Galarian Blades. I had that thought. I'm not sure, but I guess we will find out if all the heavies end up in the winners semis and like winners round 3. Then it will be like, yeah, there's a distinct advantage. Adjusting the position. Alright, we are ready to go. We're not ready to go because I forgot to reset the score. There we go, now we're ready to go. Orcane versus Zetterburn. Got Orcane. No color preference. I don't want any bias to show, even though I've already shown bias in this stream. Uh-oh, hold on. had a bit of a hiccup at the start there. A bit of frame dropping there. Okay. Are we settling back down again? Yes, I think we are. So this is why we have the stream goal, because in future we want to hopefully prevent stuff like this from happening again. These dropped frames, these moments of instability. And I didn't even have enough time to properly look at what was going on, but all of a sudden it's a 0 to death on Orcane. And Zetterburn does not look like he's slowing down. I'm definitely not used to Orcane being this susceptible, let's say. Gets the puddle down, I think, and ends up removing the puddle. That was almost certain death, but manages a pretty slick recovery. Not bad. The ledge trap just plain isn't there, but they're trying their best, but end up losing that stock. Zetterburn's still only at 68%. So that's gonna be a big mountain for Orcane to climb. Sending himself off stage, as the computers like to do. Lots of side specials. Oh, finally with the up strong, but it's not enough to take the stock. And Orcane ends up off stage once again, very much at risk. Zetterburn ends up taking the hit, but still manages to recover. That up special goes a lot further than it looks. Orcane with the down tilt. I really wish the Orcane CPU would down tilt a lot more often, because it is a ridiculous move. It is very fast, it has no cooldown, and it's a great combo starter, it's a great kill confirm, it just does everything you want it to do. And the CPU really needs to make more use of that, but of course, this is a CPU. This is a Rivals of Aether CPU. So, like, even Smash CPUs, you'll expect them to do some combos and some kill confirms, and like, every now and then they'll do something pretty nice. Rivals CPUs, they just don't got it. But this Zetterburn CPU has at least got a bit, while this Orcane is trying very hard to keep up with the pace. Finally gets a parry and a punish and a combo, up tilt into down tilt. That's probably not true, but again, what's true to computers doesn't have to be true to humans. Nice shortened side special. That's one thing that this Orkane CPU has been good at, is shortening the side special. Getting exactly the right distance on it. And it's now one stock apiece, and this game has ended up a bit closer than it really should be. Orkane can kill surprisingly early, especially with how fast his smash attacks are. Or his strong attacks. But the problem is... Oh! Actually going for confirms here, down tilt into the walk-off up there, but it doesn't end up mattering. Zetterburn takes it. Probably a lot closer than it should have been. At one point, Zetterburn was up 3 stocks to 1 at only 63%, I believe. And it ended up going right down to the wire. We'll have to see what becomes of Game 2. Maybe Orkane is all warmed up. Processing just needed to get up to speed. Oh! The parry and then the roll behind, no punish. Now that didn't even feel like typical CPU, I don't know what I'm doing. That seemed like BM, honestly. That seemed like, I don't even have to punish you, what's the point? Orkane going with the jabs, waiting for the parry and then another move. Orkane is looking for something here. Orkane is looking to make a statement here, I feel. Oh! I don't know what that statement is yet, because Orkane has not landed anything in a while, finally gets a down strong, but just standing still, throwing out strongs, and Zetterburn doesn't seem interested in punishing this strategy. Another parry, roll behind, down tilt. And now we're starting to get some more... Ooh! And an actual edge guard coming in, or an actual ledge trap coming in. Just throwing out the F strong, you may as well, against Zetterburn, very linear recovery, very predictable. You may as well throw out those F strongs, especially when you have as much reach as Orkane does. Zetterburn just stands there parrying, maybe he was waiting for the up B, I'm not sure, but didn't end up timing it correctly. Up strong comes out, and this game is ending up a lot more even than the previous. Which bodes badly for Zetterburn, because in the previous game, Orkane ran away with it towards the end. Orkane's getting these turnarounds pretty consistently, gets that up special there. Oh, gets another one. Just happens to catch Zetterburn sleeping. I'm really... okay. See, every time... for all the time that Orkane is on the stage and hasn't set down a puddle, I always get concerned because of that. He's gonna end up off stage, and he's gonna SD because he has no method of recovery. And we are slowing down. This is just gonna be a regular thing for this stream, I guess. Again, that's why we have our good old donation goal. You can donate in the link in the About page. So hopefully we will be able to get equipment at some point to prevent stuff like this from happening again in the future. As the stream starts to normalize again, we get back into the action. And this is still pretty much even. We just have to wait for Orkane to kill, and Orkane hasn't been having as much trouble killing as some of the other CPUs. The only issue is not close enough to the puddle. Needs a puddle in place to get an easy kill off of. Oh! Ends up just reading the F strong from Zetterburn with a down strong. So not a bad kill. 71%. It's not an ideal deficit, but it's not the end of the world either. It's definitely doable. Orkane knows how to read that typical wave dash in on recovery, but it's not enough. It's not gonna be enough. Zetterburn is gonna take the game, take the win, That's 2-0. So we head back to the tournament page. And that is a big fat O for Arcane, but I tell you, the games that were played, they don't quite reflect that. They were much closer than the 2-0 would suggest. So, we now come down to Losers Round 1, and we're gonna end the stream after Losers Round 1. So we're gonna be doing this over the course of multiple days. So, probably tomorrow I'll be streaming again. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or the day after. We'll have to wait and see. So, we've got Claren versus Maple, and Forestburn versus Arcane. Four significant disappointments. I did not expect them to be down in the losers bracket this early, but it is what it is, and we're gonna have to go along with it. So now, let me just double check real quick to see what the matchups are. It's Claren versus Maple is our first losers round 1. So we've got Claren, we've got Maple, and it's time. It's time for the undoubtedly best part of the stream. I mean, if you're new to the stream, this is the best part of the stream. It's the part where we awkwardly change the names because we forgot to do it at the start. Don't you just love it? Don't you just love it? Oh, why did the font change? Oh, no, I just failed to press the caps lock. Cleric, yep. Okay, so we've got Claren, we've got Maple. That did not select properly. I'm still learning how to work with this software, so bear with me. We are in lowercase today. And we gotta move it to the right position. I like to have some uniformity. Claren, Maple. This game, I anticipate that... I don't know, actually. I think that Claren has the distinct advantage here. Big disjoint on all of her moves, but... And also the bubble makes it a lot harder for Maple to get the leaf status effect. But one problem that we have seen from Claren is that she keeps going too low on the recovery. I feel like in the definitive edition, Claren's AI has actually got worse than it used to be. Oh, but we are experiencing some dropped frames. We can't have that. We have to put it on hold for a second. Alright, Galarian Blades, it's been nice having you on the stream. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to be streaming again either tomorrow or the day after. I'll be sending out notifications. So we're going to chill on this for a moment, and just as a quick reminder, this is why we have our stream goal, so that we can, our stream goal of $500 March 31st, so that we can afford some better equipment so that we don't have this kind of problem anymore. This sorts of frame dropping and stuff. So we come back now. It's looking fairly even. Claren has a slight advantage, but as that percent goes higher and higher, it becomes more of a distinct advantage. Because even that they're at the same percent now, Maple is very much at kill percent, while Claren is not. Not from Maple anyway. But, oh, Maple had a chance, but did not end up doing that up strong in time. And Claren gets the parry, punishes with a jab. Not the most effective way to punish. Is Claren actually gonna get a kill with the tipper of anything? No, actually Maple is gonna take the first stock. And this is, once again, Claren disappointing performance. Claren not doing as expected. Oh, and thank you for the $15 donation, Neo. Another donation from Neo. Very, very much a friend of the channel. Worth it. Oh, and Claren is down 2 stocks. How did I not notice? Upstrong comes out and it's now 2 stocks to 1 but 0 apiece. It's a very bad situation for Claren. Upstrong. Maple taking the lead. But again, with the rolls, and another parry, and I expect no punish, as anticipated. It's honestly it's a special surprise when the computer punishes after a parry. It is something that you don't get very often. And as these stocks started even, they're still staying even. And it's not a good thing for Claren. Claren really needs to take an advantage here. Gets one with a nice side B. 81%, it is a doable comeback, but the way that Claren has been playing, I don't expect it to happen. Up tilt, up tilt, up tilt. All of these rolls, I need to be counting the rolls because it's honestly hilarious. But Claren, to be fair, bringing the comeback, that dash attack into Upstrong, I don't know why that works, but I guess it does. Just standing on the platform for a bit. These games are, like, going for a long time. This has been a 4-minute game so far. Like, they're really fighting it out here. Wait. So now I have a problem. Was this the first game with Claren and Maple? Because now I realize I don't think I reset the number. Let me think for a second. How many games have we played so far? 14 according to Rivals, and according to the tournament we've got 2, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Huh? Hold on. Oh, 14. So yes, that was the first game between them. So the score is 1-0 to Maple. So here we go again. Random stage. I unfortunately don't have all the stage alts unlocked, so we won't be seeing Aether high or anything like that. I do have some of them. The rolling back and forth, you know, it's a pro level move, honestly. You can't beat it. All these rolls, how do you hit? If you're a computer, at least, that is meta. Rolling back and forth, that is the meta. Oh, that awkward first hit of the dash attack with the second not connecting, it really puts Claren in a bad position when she has had problems with going too low on the recovery. Maple almost coming in with a good edge guard, but ends up being the one now off stage, but sends Claren off again, and it's just a back and forth edge guard going on here. Claren with the side B again, playing like I would, honestly. This is how I would edge guard. Well, not executed quite like that, but side B to edge guard, pretty nice, pretty funny. Using side B as a movement option, basically like a roll, I don't know that I would recommend it, but for the CPUs, it is not that bad. Maple reads the Upstrong reads the air dodge with an up strong. Very good move there, puts Maple in a distinct advantage going into the next stock. Nothing but defensive options coming out from Claren. But now we're finally getting some moves, but on the top platform, and these two could just stay in this position all day. The one concern that I had about doing this stream, doing this CPU tournament, is I was worried that there would come a match where the CPUs would end up stuck on separate platforms and never approach each other, and it would just go to time. And I still worry about that possibility, but I'm just going to assume that it's not going to be possible. Gets a parry, but no punish. Maple, in fact, gets to punish the no punish. Up strong, but no follow-up. There we go. Gets an F-tilt follow-up. Good ledge trapping from Maple, but doesn't end up getting the kill. However, it is now... Maple has now basically lapped Claren in percent, and now lapped Claren in stocks, as it's 3-1, and it's looking like Claren is about to drop out of this tournament way early. Claren finally putting in some combos on the last stock, as is her pattern. But 208% still haven't taken the kill on one of the lightest characters in the game. That is going to be a big concern for Claren. Finally gets it with a side special, but it's still a big deficit to make up, a stock and 21%. It can be done. Claren can be quite an explosive character, but can the computer use her to her fullest? We'll have to wait and see. Good parry, but finally gets a punish, but it's only a jab. Could have probably done something much more effective there to set up a proper edge guard, but Claren is looking to sandbag here. Maybe Claren is looking to get a lower seed in the next tournament, but that's going to be the end of her run for this one, as Maple wins it 2-0. Very disappointing performance from Claren. So we go back here. That is a 2-0 result for Maple. A reminder of our goal that we've got going on here. We've got a goal of $500 running until March 31st for new PC equipment, so that we won't have things like the dropping frames that we have had every now and then during this stream. It will give us the opportunity to stream more varied content and all that stuff. So next, the last match we have is Forceburn versus Orcane. That's going to be the last game for today. The last game of Losers Round 1. And it's time to edit the names and edit the scores. Trust me, by tomorrow, we're gonna have all of the names already pre-prepared. But today is not tomorrow. So we've got Forceburn, which I type in lowercase again. Might look better in lowercase in all honesty, but I just am not interested in figuring that out. Now, if anyone uses Streamlabs, if you can tell me how to anchor text to the right side of the box instead of the left, that would be much appreciated. So, last match of the day, Forceburn versus Orcane. Let's see what we've got. We go to, this is the, don't remember what it's called, but it's a special variant of Rockwall. And we've got a nice little current leader screen in the background, so you will have an easier time following when I inevitably forget to talk for a few seconds. Expected result from this game, based on Based on the previous games, I was expecting that Orcane should do well here, and we've got some slowdown. And I would like to remind everyone again, this is why we have our stream goal, $500 for March 31st, so that we can afford some equipment to stream more consistently and without as much instability. Every now and then, this current setup, it just conks out, not providing a very smooth experience. So we're looking to rectify that as soon as we possibly can. So now we get back into the action after that little ad break. And Orcane in an edge guarding situation, but ends up sending himself off stage again and losing the stock as a result from a good down strong from Force Burn. Gets it down strong. Now how long will it take? I was about to say how long will it take for Orcane to take this stock. Not too long. 24% is not a bad deficit. It's now 35. Good. Up special. To read the neutral tech. Well, not read. I don't think these computers are capable of really reading anything, but... Good parry. But again, no punish. Parry no punish is a staple of the CPU meta. We expect to see it in every game, really. Force Burn using the clouds. Force Burn is probably favored to move on here, I think. Force Burn's a bit more advanced, likes to string together moves a bit more. Orcane does it every now and then, but Orcane is just too prone to simple mistakes, like ending up off stage without a puddle. But Orcane does manage to get up strong there and take the lead of the game. Orcane looking to prove me wrong. Nice sliding up strong into the puddle, but ooh, ends up in a really bad position off stage, and the down air, even though it wasn't the spike hitbox, manages to take the stock. Clouds coming out. I don't know how much, just as I don't know what the clone does to computers, like I don't know if the computers react to the clone at all, I don't know if the computers react to the clouds at all. I don't know if it makes a difference, really. This is one of the reasons why I had Force Burn. This is one of the reasons why I was expecting Orcane to do better in this matchup, because some of the tools that Force Burn has, I don't think that they're particularly effective on computers. But I'm not sure. I'd have to ask someone about that. I might be wrong about that. We're almost approaching 4 minutes in this game here. We've been having some long games in this tournament. The CPU's really playing with their all, getting up to really high percents before they manage to kill. But that may just be because they're incapable of using kill confirms. Orcane managed to survive that, and I honestly don't know how. Still within, still in with a chance, but ends up dying off the other side eventually anyway. So Force Burn takes first game. Now, is this going to be the first time that the higher seed ends up winning? Because every game so far, the higher seed has lost. Is Force Burn finally going to break the streak? Or have I just got all of the seeding all wrong? We'll have to see in this next game. Up special in place to start off the game. good down strong. Good down air, rather. We're getting some fairly clean neutral as far as computers go from Force Burn. I'm not sure why that parry didn't take, but now Force Burn finds himself in a bad situation, and it's relatively even here. Oh, Arcane trying to get the trap with the up air. We probably won't see it at any point in this tournament, especially as I expect Arcane to be knocked out in this round, but that up air has a spiking hitbox on the bottom of it. I would love to see it in use, I'd love to see it come into effect somewhere, but I just doubt it. I just don't expect to see anything cool from these computers. I think that's a bit of a reach. We got a parry and a jab. Parry jab is like their favorite. Ooh! And there's the explosion taking first stock. Parry jab, they're evolving, you know? They've gone from parrying and not doing anything to parrying and jabbing, so maybe they'll start doing proper punishes at some point. If Arcane didn't get hit there, I would have been a bit concerned about how he would recover. And we are, as expected, dropping frames once again. Hopefully for the last time in this stream. So I'd like to take this opportunity to remind you of the donation goal we have going, $500 by March 31st, to get new stream equipment so that we won't have problems like frame dropping and stuff like that. And we are still waiting for it to settle out a little bit, but it's getting there and it's about there now. So we're gonna get back into the action now. 3 stocks to 2. Arcane's deficit is growing and growing, but manages to take it before it gets too overwhelming. 62% on the second stock, not too much of a problem. If this was on the last stock, it would be more concerning. But Arcane does need to start working on reducing this deficit now. And he is doing it. About 28%, no, now it's about 20% is the gap. So now it's much more doable, and I would say that Arcane probably has more kill power than Force Burn. Easier kill power anyway. But we'll have to wait and see what they do. I noticed that the Arcane CPU does not make use of back air very much, which is unfortunate. It is definitely it's definitely holding it back a little bit. But it's 108, 108, even game, and now Arcane takes the kill, and Force Burn has some catching up to do. Arcane looking to make it 8 upsets out of 8 matches. Wants to bring it to a game 3. Can Force Burn close it out here? Can Force Burn get this stock before the deficit becomes too overwhelming? 41% is already a bit concerning, and now we get up to 53, and it keeps climbing. 65, 79, and it's looking quite bad for Force Burn. Force Burn's already at kill percent at this point. Ooh, and a great roll read. Takes the game for Arcane. You know, it's the last game of the stream. It's the last set of the stream, so, you know, 3 game... It's gotta go to game 3. It's to be expected, really. Random stage once again, and we end up on Jules Vale. Up special in place, once again, the Force Burn Classic. Force Burn really likes doing that. Now, the last time we were here, it did result in an upset. Eliana, no, the last time we were here, I believe, was game 1 with Eliana and Claren. Claren won that game, but ended up losing the set. Now this time, whoever wins this game will win the set, so very different circumstances here. Ooh. We're getting a lot of trading blows here. That up strong didn't hit. I don't know how. I would be mad if I was Arcane. Force burn using the clouds to his advantage, mixing up his recovery more than I expected to see from a computer. Jab, jab, jab. That was just dirty. That was just dirty. I'm gonna have to, you know, last game, Arcane wants to style a bit. This is something that Arcane has been doing. He was trying to style on Zetterburn, he's now trying to style on his brother. And things aren't going well for Arcane in this game. This gap keeps going out and out. 187, and Arcane has not been hit with a kill blow yet. 195, 202, and Arcane is still living. Force burn starting to get a bit frustrated. Just throwing out moves. That would have been a time for an up special. I would have up specialed there immediately, but 242% and Arcane is still on his first stock, so I can't exactly complain about that. Finally, Arcane loses his stock, but it is 125 and then Force Burn dies. Even percents, not even stocks. Arcane's looking like he's gonna move on unless Force Burn can mount quite an exceptional comeback. Good parry, first reflection I've seen all day. Force Burn is really trying to make this comeback happen. Force Burn suddenly turning on, like Claren in the last stock of every game she's played. But Claren also lost both of her sets, so Force Burn is going to hope that the same fate doesn't befall him. Arcane almost taking the kill off of that hit. It's very bad for Force Burn, even percents basically. Up special gets parried, Force Burn gets a down tilt but doesn't lead off into anything. Now it's the edgeguard situation for Arcane. Almost gets the tech read with that up air, but up strong comes out eventually. Arcane manages to take it 2-1. And that is gonna be the last game for today. Arcane manages to take the set 2-1. And so now we get to look at what we're gonna be going through tomorrow. I would love to report the scores, but as you can see, it's loading. Don't know why. But anyway, I'll take this opportunity to remind you all of our donation goal, $500 by March 31st, in order to get new streaming equipment, so that we won't have frame drops, we'll be able to stream a wider variety of games, and so on. You can donate by visiting the link to Streamlabs in the About page of this channel. I'm not sure why this isn't allowing me to report the scores. I'm just gonna try and reload the page. But this is basically the end of the stream. So it's been good. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna be streaming again tomorrow or the day after. I will be sending out the same notifications that I sent out on Twitter and on Discord. Take care.